equality look like this: a man and a woman has to approve an abortion. Women are now being drafted off to war, just like men. Now we need at least 50% of women working in oil rigs. We need at least 50% of women working in janitorial positions. We need 50% of women working as firefighters. We need 50% of women going and working down in the seas and doing welding. I mean, what if equality looked like that? What if equality was, okay, we now need 50% of women now to be in the prison? Like, what if equality happened across the board? What if the expectation was, okay, now women, you need to propose to men. There needs to be, you're proposing, you're grabbing a ring, you are planning, or at the very least, there's at least 50% of women who are doing that. What if equality took place across the board? What if you were opening the door for your man? What if you were pulling out the chair and you were buying him a meal and you were picking him up and you were driving him home and you were buying him gifts? What if equality looked like that? Would we like it as women? Would we like it? Would we appreciate it? Is that what we think should happen? I'm curious to hear it. I will say, as me personally, I've said this before and I will say this again. I do not want to be equal to a man because I know that I'm not. If there is a man who was my exact same height and my exact same weight, he by default would be stronger than me because men have more muscle by default. They have, more upper body strength. They have stronger hands. I mean, just by default, he's stronger than me. He couldn't have a baby. He couldn't have a kid. So I know by default, men are different. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I think the more, even if I just think my relationship with my husband, the more I work together with him and I don't try to make him think the way I think, or I don't talk to him as if he's my girlfriend or vice versa. And I recognize, okay, he's a man, he thinks this way, I'm a woman, I think this way, how can we work together? So much more peaceful, things are so much more effective. And I just use that one anecdotal experience because I think that's just how things work in general. I think when there's an acceptance of who we are, how we're different, where things work and where things don't work, then things are more smooth. But what's happening now is there's this whole push for us being completely equal and completely the same. But if women were totally, in all ways treated the same, if women were prosecuted as harshly as men were prosecuted, if more women were expected to pay child support to their men, I mean, just the implications all across the board, I don't think that we would like it. If women experienced more rejection, if more women asked men out and experienced rejection, just things like that. I mean, I can just even think over the last few months, how many women have sent hellfire because there's been a few women who've gotten down on their knees to propose. And these women are just like, no, this is unfair. She doesn't need me doing this. She doesn't need me doing that. And they are just fighting tooth and nail. And in the same instance, we're talking about, oh, but I'm modern and I'm feminine and, I'm a modern woman. I'm doing my own thing. I'm strong and independent. And it's like, so you really don't want equality. You really don't want equality. And so, that's what I'm saying. If equality meant all those things, if it meant maybe you had to pay child support, maybe you had to propose, maybe you had to be drafted off to war, maybe you're having to take the job in the gutter, maybe you are in the construction, maybe you are, putting your life at risk. The implications were that, would we still want to be equal? And are we better off accepting that, hey, maybe we're not equal because we're different, we're not the same, and that's okay. I think maybe we're equal in value, but we're certainly not equal in function. And biology alone proves that. But those are just my thoughts. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know. Leave your questions, comments, concerns in the comment section below. Thank you so much for listening. If you've gotten this far, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Talk later. Bye.